You've tried dieting before. Maybe it worked at first, but then it stopped working. You're eating less than ever and the scale doesn't move. You blame your metabolism. And in many cases, you're right, but not in the way you think. Research on metabolic adaptation shows that a slow metabolism is not primarily a genetic sentence. It's a biological response to specific inputs, most of which you're providing without knowing it. A major investigation by Michael Rosenbaum and Rudolf Leibel at Columbia University demonstrated that the body's metabolic response to weight loss is far more aggressive than previously understood. After losing 10 to 15% of body weight, participants' resting metabolic rates dropped by an average of 15%, more than could be explained by the weight lost. The body was actively defending its previous weight by reducing how many calories it burned at rest. Metabolic rate research sits at the intersection of endocrinology, exercise physiology, and nutrition science. The mechanisms by which metabolism slows, and how to counteract them, are now well characterized in the literature. In this video, we are going to see what actually causes a slow metabolism, distinguishing the biological realities from the misconceptions, and what the evidence specifically supports for reversing metabolic slowdown and restoring a higher resting metabolic rate over time. Most people believe metabolism is primarily genetic. Some people are born with fast metabolisms and some with slow ones, and there's relatively little you can do to change that baseline. But research paints a more complex and more optimistic picture. While genetic variation in metabolic rate does exist, it accounts for only 20 to 40% of total variation in resting metabolic rate. The most common cause of a metabolically slowed state that doctors miss: previous or ongoing severe caloric restriction. When calories are significantly cut, below 1,200 to 1,500 calories for most adults, the body activates metabolic adaptation through multiple pathways simultaneously. Thyroid hormone output drops. Leptin levels fall. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the energy you burn through spontaneous movement, fidgeting, and daily activities, drops significantly. And muscle protein synthesis slows to preserve energy. Muscle mass is the primary driver of resting metabolic rate, the calories you burn at rest without any activity. Research shows that skeletal muscle accounts for approximately 20 to 30% of resting energy expenditure. Each pound of muscle burns approximately 6 to 10 calories per day at rest, which doesn't sound like much individually, but 20 pounds of muscle versus 15 pounds produces a 30 to 50 calorie daily metabolic difference that compounds significantly over years. Muller and colleagues at the German Institute of Human Nutrition conducted a comprehensive investigation of metabolic adaptation mechanisms during caloric restriction. They identified that the drop in resting metabolic rate during caloric restriction is driven by 4 simultaneous mechanisms: reduction in thyroid hormone, T3 and T4, reduction in leptin, reduction in sympathetic nervous system activity, and reduction in NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Research by Speakman and Selman on physical activity and resting metabolic rate established that resistance training produces a more durable metabolic rate increase than aerobic exercise, because it builds the muscle tissue that drives resting metabolism. Studies show that each kilogram of muscle gained through resistance training increases resting metabolic rate by approximately 13 calories per day. Across a meaningful muscle gain of 5 kilograms, achievable in a few months of consistent training, that represents 65 additional. Thyroid function is a primary metabolic regulator. It sets the rate at which every cell in the body converts nutrients to energy. Research shows that even subclinical hyperthyroidism, thyroid function within the normal TSH range but with free T3 below optimal, can reduce resting metabolic rate by 10 to 15%. At the same time, chronically elevated cortisol from stress or poor sleep can suppress thyroid conversion of T4 to the active T3 form, meaning stress-related. 3 additional metabolic rate suppressors that research identifies with strong evidence: sleep deprivation. Even 1 week of sleeping 6 hours per night reduces resting metabolic rate by 5 to 8% and significantly increases appetite. Sedentary behavior. Continuous sitting reduces NEAT, which can contribute 100 to 400 calories of daily energy expenditure in active individuals. And very low protein intake during caloric restriction. Protein has the highest thermic effect and also signals muscle preservation, without adequate protein. The metabolic restoration framework addresses each identified suppressor systematically. First, transition from a very low-calorie approach to a moderate deficit, 300 to 500 calories below maintenance, to stop triggering aggressive metabolic adaptation. Second, add or increase resistance training to rebuild or maintain muscle mass, the primary long-term driver of resting metabolic rate. Third, Optimize protein intake at 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram, both for thermic effect and muscle preservation signaling. For people who have been severely restricting for an extended period, and whose metabolism has adapted significantly downward, a metabolic reset period may be needed before further fat loss is effective. Research by Trexler and colleagues found that a diet break, returning to maintenance calories for 2 to 4 weeks, partially reverses metabolic adaptation. Leptin rises, thyroid hormones recover, and NEAT begins normalizing. If you've been on a very low-calorie diet and fat loss has stalled, the first step is not to cut more. It's to eat slightly more, moving from below 1,200 calories to a moderate 1,500 to 1,600 for 2 to 4 weeks to allow metabolic recovery. Simultaneously, start or increase resistance training to signal muscle preservation and begin building metabolic rate. Increase protein to above 1.6 grams per kilogram. If fat loss is completely stalled despite what seems like a consistent effort, then consider a 2 to 4 week diet break at maintenance calories. Research shows partial metabolic recovery occurs within this window, making subsequent deficits more effective. If you suspect thyroid issues are driving slow metabolism, then request free T3 and T4 testing in addition to TSH. Subclinical hyperthyroidism requires the more sensitive markers to detect and is directly treatable. A slow metabolism is not a fixed genetic state. It's a biological response to specific inputs that can be identified and addressed. Severe caloric restriction triggers aggressive metabolic adaptation through thyroid suppression, leptin reduction, and NEAT reduction. Low muscle mass reduces resting metabolic rate at the structural level. Poor sleep depresses metabolic rate and drives appetite. Addressing these specific causes, with moderate deficits, resistance training, adequate protein, and quality sleep, allows metabolic rate to recover and fat. Your metabolism is not your enemy. It's responding to the information you're giving it. Understanding that biology gives you the power to change those signals. MedBrief Today is here to give you that understanding. Keep watching for more evidence-based insights into how your body actually works. If today's video helped clarify something, share it with someone who needs it. Most people never see research summarize this clearly. That's exactly what this channel is here to do.